year. When you got on campus, if I recall, at first you were kind of an either-or, weren't you? I mean, wide receiver or defensive back? Is that kind of how? And then you decided to pick corner, or did they kind of persuade you to go that direction?
I would say I spoke with Coach Ferentz, and he thought that my best ability would be on defense. So I was always on board with whatever he was saying. So I mean, I think so. I just went over to the defense side of the ball.
Was that ever an option to go back to offense?
Not that I know of. No, we haven't spoken about it, but I feel real comfortable at this position. Again, I just trust the coaches and the process that they put me through.
Okay. And then once you got in the season, I mean, you made your mark. You became the nickel back and got in, I think, against Minnesota and made an interception. I mean, what do you attribute to your success in getting on the field so early in your career?
Definitely the coaching staff and the guys where I was around. You know, being a young guy, there's a lot of guidance that you need. So guys like Desmond King, Greg Maben, Brandon Snyder, Jake Gervais, you know, so I can credit a lot of the success that I had in the field to them, and just the way they helped me on and off the field, just, you know, kind of adjusted, you know, the college football level. So I would say my teammates and my coaching.
How do you go about trying to fill those shoes left by Desmond and Greg and those guys?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm trying to fill them. I'm just trying to, you know, do what they did. What they did was take the coaches that they had and just apply it in the game. So that's the best way I'm trying to do right now. Just do the same as them and the people that came before them. So just, again, listen to my coaches and, you know, just try to do things the right way.
Was there a moment last year in a game where you felt like your progress was really starting to show?
I wouldn't say it was in the game. I would say it'd be more in practice. The more you're out there with your teammates and the coaching staff, the more you get in the film room, you just become more comfortable with what's going on around you. So I wouldn't say there was an exact point in the season that I just felt comfortable, but as long as the season went along, my teammates and my coaching staff really helped me, you know, grow as a player.
When you got in against Michigan, I mean, it was not only an important game, your first start. And I mean, what was your week of preparation like, and how confident were you going into that game?
The week of preparation was really like every other week that we had. We had a scheme, and you know, the way we were going about things was the way Coach Parker wanted us to go about it. So we just completely tried to do everything that prepared for Michigan the way we prepared for everybody else. And with the confidence level, I just felt that with the coaching staff, and, you know, if Coach Parker felt confident to put me out there, I was going to be behind him and feel as confident as well.
Were you nervous at all? I mean, it's a night game, Kinnick Stadium, number 2 team in the country, all eyes of the world on you.
I mean, definitely it was. Wouldn't say nervous. I would say I was more excited. Just, you know, it was my first start, and it was a big game, but it was a learning experience as well.
And then the flow of the game, you knock away a pass in the end zone, you pick off a pass near the end of the game. I mean, you know, it just looked like you were just playing football.
Again, I just tried to apply what we were studying all week in practice, and, you know, just tried to read my keys. But again, I had a lot of help from a lot of the older guys that you know, were there. You know, Greg Maben, he was hurt, but definitely coming off the sideline, I spoke with him a lot. Spoke with Coach Parker, Desmond. So I just tried to take the coaching that I had and apply it on the field.
What have you learned from Coach Parker?
Really, a lot that I've learned from Coach Parker is most anything that I've learned here. One thing that he always preaches about is effort. And you can mess up, but as long as you're giving effort and you're giving 100%, that he'll be I wouldn't say he'll be satisfied, but, you know, he'll be able to stand next to you and support you on that.
Well, knowing the tradition that Iowa has at cornerback and safety even is almost unknown to some people, but when you have Micah Hyde, he's in the NFL. I think they've had 6 or 7 first-team All-Big Ten defensive backs. Does that inspire you to know that you could be the next one in that line?
It's definitely inspiring, and it's definitely something that, you know, makes me practice harder and makes us practice harder as a team. Knowing all the guys that came before us, you know, we try to preach leaving the jersey in a better place. So not just me, but as well as my teammates, we all just try to take the Tiger Hawk and, you know, not wearing it with, you know, just make sure that we have pride when we wear it. So, you know, there's a lot of guys that came before us, and we're just not trying to fill their shoes, but we're just trying to be Hawkeyes on and off the field.
What'd you learn from Dez?
A big thing that I learned from him was just to compete. No matter what was going on, just compete. And as long as things play out, as long as you're giving effort and you're competing and you're out there applying what you learned in practice, that things just might fall into place.